So, Water Swift coming up next then. We've got Austin Newstead behind us giving a warm handshake to one of his teammates, George House. Austin, we saw you had a little bit of bad luck earlier on. In my opinion, you took it like an absolute champ. You didn't even bat an eyelid, which very impressive. And what are you thinking about kind of the redemption drive for this final?
So really it's mostly about the first lap. First lap, I just need to get through as many people as possible, and then we can plan out the race from there. But ideally, we can just keep on getting through as many people as we can and hopefully get top 5 from all the way back here.
Brilliant. So you think top 5 is achievable from this far back in the grid, which I would agree with you. If we show them, Fraser, you know, we're quite far back, but Austin, definitely reckon you can do that. We saw your dad shortly ago grabbing a bumper from a different kart. Do you know what was going on there?
No, not too sure.
Not a lucky bumper then that you wanted back? Very best of luck to you then, Austin. We'll let you jump in and get concentrated. We'll see you hopefully try and get in that top 5.
Thank you.
Great to see Austin back on his feet after that crash that we saw earlier on. You know, like I said, absolutely took it like a champ. Just got back in, and it's great to see, you know, no confidence knocks. He reckons he can get into the top 5. There he is again, giving another warm handshake to his teammate George House. We've got Callum Graham here next to us with the OMS graphics. Mechanic is Sam Hawthorne. Sam, obviously experienced driver in the Rotax category, so definitely giving some good advice to Callum there. Keep heading back up to the grid. We've got Evolve Motorsport. Obviously 2 OMS drivers then starting with each other. Always great to have a teammate. We saw one of the cadet drivers yesterday say 2 engines are better than 1. So keep an eye on those 2 drivers, see if they work together. We'll head off the grid now so that Dan Ashton can send them forgotten how to speak. I did this yesterday. Anthony will be sat in the comms box laughing at me now. So we'll go back in there for them to introduce this race.
He is indeed.
I'm not. No. I've been in that very position. I know we've all been in that very position. Get absolutely tongue-tied. Right, reports. I'm going to be the dramatic one here because I'm the guest. Reports of spots of rain out on the circuit. It's very, very light, but it's raining.
More things to think about then for Miami Water Swift. Race 37, the final is up next. Big grid, let's take you through it for the round 4 final for this year's Wera Tools British Kart Championships in Miami Water Swift. Finley Lyons, winner yesterday, starts on pole position. He's alongside the round 2 winner, Will Green on the front row. Teddy J. Porter and Blair Smith on row 2. Harry Williams and Jarlath Sayer on row 3. Austin Gibson and George Clark start on row number 4.
Row 5 is Max Mason with Charlie Clough alongside. Harley Musk and Mason Brooks go from row 6. Jensen Ackerman and Freddie Wood round out row 7 with Christian Kobe and Sukmani Kira on row 8.
Row 9, Luca Narroway and Knights Measures. Henry Clark and Colby Patterson on row 10. Arian Nair and Grayson Wortley on row 11. John T. Restrick and Callum Graham form up row number 12.
George House, Sophie Campbell, row 13 with Andy Stewart and Johnson Stewart on row number 14. Austin Newstead and Jesus Butterless go from row 15. Javier Fonge and Joseph Davis go from the final row of the grid. Biggest shot from that one, I think, Austin Newstead.
Yeah, it's had a tough day so far, but if there's one thing we've learned from Water Swift so far this year, in finals in particular, expect the unexpected. No driver from the first 4 rows of a grid has gone on to win a final so far this season. What are we going to see in this one? Lights are out, we're away and racing for 12 minutes plus 1 lap. It's a great start for Finley Lyons, and there's already a little bit of drama at the front of the field. One of the ORMs was pitched up in the air a little bit there. They're all still running, they're all still on their way and through Christmas Corner, but it's tense times once again here at the start in Water Swift.
Certainly is, but a good start nonetheless for the rest of the field, all breaking away well down in towards Ashby Hairpin, the pinch point of the circuit, and again all through. Now there was one kart going very slowly there off the track. Who was that? Who's tumbled down the order? I think that may have been Fusion Motorsports' Mason Brooks. A little further down the order, but don't quote me on that. Right, field going through the final chicane. Let's call them through as they go through. Nice big send down the inside there for Grayson Worley. But it is Finley Lines from Porter, Sayer, Mason, Green, Smith, Clark, Ackerman, Williams, Gibson, the top 10. Christian Kobe, Charlie Clough, Harley Mustick, Manikira, Luca Narroway, Knight Measures, Grayson Worley, Colby Patterson, Freddie Wood, and Henry Clark. The top 20, it was Mason Brooks that had tumbled down 20 positions.
Yeah, that's a real shame for Mason Brooks. There's not going to be the heroics that we saw at PF International for the round 1 win from Mason Brooks today. 10.5 minutes to go in this one. It's the usual contenders from this weekend at the front. Lines, Porter, Sayer, they've all been in there. But I'd say the usual contenders. Max Mason has thrown his hat into the ring on this one. It's down the inside. Will Green striking back after that difficult start into 4th place. Oh, as round there goes the number 12 is Jensen Ackerman. And there we go. That's what happens, particularly in the smaller categories, if you take a little bit too much of that new curb. He's got going again, but Jensen Ackerman falls all the way down to 30th place. It's down the inside for 2nd place. Sayer gets through past Porter.
Yep, so big changes then at the mid-stage of this race. Down the inside, it's Green again. Down the inside, and now Max Mason goes with Teddy J. Porter. Not able to get past, so Green up into 3rd place now with that fastest lap of the race, and is looking like a threat to the likes of Jarlath Sayer and Finley Lines in the lead.
He is indeed, and for championship scenarios as well, he knows that whilst we are only at the halfway stage of this 2024 Road Tools British Kart Championships for this category, he wants to extend his lead. On the live points at the moment, it's by 8. Green on 4.79, Sayer on 4.71, Porter 3rd, a further 9 points back, and then Lines a further 1 point back. To the top 4 are covered by 18 points as things stand, and it's that top 4 in a different order. Down the inside for 2nd place goes Green. That's a key move on his championship rival. Porter steps through as well into 3rd, and it's all to do again for Jarlath Sayer.
It really is here now, back down to 4th place and under pressure from Mason and Smith, who are just behind, but no change just yet. Now, Will Green has the opportunity now to go to work and close in on Finley Lines. These two were battling yesterday in the final. These two were battling earlier today in the qualifying heats. Now in the final once again, they go to work up in towards Christmas corner. No defensive lines, no time wasted, no late lunges. All it is drivers working together to close the gap, and they have closed the gap almost immediately. Finley Lines is under pressure.
He is under pressure, and if there's a bit of rain coming as well, once again the margin for error is going to be closing. I tell you, he's flying through the field. Austin Newstead has gained 13 places so far in this one. He's up to 16th place. Finley Lines has not put a foot wrong so far in this race through the new chicane once again to complete lap number 5. It's Lines, Green, Porter, Sayer, Max Mason still there in 5th. Blair Smith looking for another good result as well there for Ollie Rowland Motorsport. Up the hill once again, new fastest lap of the race confirmed for Will Green, but no move yet for the lead.
No, and again, are we going to have to wait 6 minutes to see a move here? Or are we going to see it straight away? No, we're not. We're going to see it straight away. Down the inside, Green goes through. Teddy J. Porter follows.
Well, back into the order that we saw for a lot of the heats yesterday. Green from Porter, they worked well together in those heats, and then didn't work so well through the finals, and that was what gave the opportunity to Finley Lines to strike through and take the race victory. 7 minutes to go in this one. Still quite a while for the drivers. More big hopping across the curb. Who else is continuing to improve? Where is Austin Newstead at the moment in this race? He's still there in 16th place. Here comes Porter though. Is there going to be a move into Christmas corner? No, he's just going to stay there for now.
Finley Lines has been such a threat on the field this weekend. I think these two are possibly going to work together to try and break away. The only thing that they can't put into factor is that Jarlath Sayer might work with Finley Lines here to make sure that they can't break away from the rest of the field. A look further back, just behind Blair Smith, still with this battle. Harry Williams still there, George Clark for the Oracle Motorsport team, the OMS racing team, is doing a brilliant job there in 8th place. He's had a fantastic weekend so far.
Yeah, really good to see Oracle Motorsport beginning to find their way further up the order. They had some really good heats at PF International in round number 2. That's still their biggest haul of points of the season so far. Could they do it here in the final? We are into the second half of the allotted time now for this final in Water Swift, and still Will Green leads from Teddy J. Porter. Teddy J. Porter had a very good run through the crook that time, through turn 2 and up towards Fine Lady, but that top end that Will Green's got right now is enough to hold the lead through Christmas. Finley Lines is still there as well in 3rd place. Bit of a half attacking, half defensive line from Jarlath Sayer there in 4th. Again, it's not been the same kind of weekend for the Fusion Motorsport drivers. As here goes Lines down the inside. This is for 2nd place. Porter gives enough room. Oh, there's not enough room there for both of them to flit through. Sayer hops into 3rd place, and all of a sudden, Lines finds himself down in 5th.
Well, now this is all starting to get a little bit interesting here. You can see Jarlath Sayer was communicating, I think, with his mechanics at the sidelines, just saying, right, do I need to keep going? Lines fights back immediately, gets back past Max Mason, moves through. He communicates with him and says, let's go, let's move up. But again, it's all starting to heat up a little bit there, a little bit of an oversteer moment for Finley Lines. He holds on to it. What were you pointing at there?
I just would like to have a look from a commentary perspective of what's happening on the rear bumper of the number 81. Is it just dislodged or is it detached? If it's dislodged but still attached, that's okay. But we'll see on that one. 4.5 minutes remaining. Green has full control of this final at this stage. It's down to Teddy Porter and Jarlath Sayer. Yeah, it's fine. It's not flapping around. It might have a little bit of an angle in it, but it's fine. And no more than that. Finley Lines can fight back now from 4th place. The lead for the race leader is a full second right now. Austin Newstead has continued his progress. He's into the top 15 now. That's a gain of 15 spots. Colby Patterson's trying to force his way through the order as well. A gain of 8 for the number 24 ORM driver. 4 minutes to go. Is there any impression being made on Will Green? I'd say just a half a tenth taken out of Green's lead through sector number 1. What's it like through sector number 2? 2 tenths. 2 tenths taken out of the lead for Green. So Porter, Sayer and Lines are coming back.
Well, this could certainly open things up. Like we always say in these cadet classes, it is difficult to break away on your own, okay? Yes, we may have seen it in the restricted class, but in the unrestricted class, it's a little more trickier to do when you've got these battles here, but this isn't going to help. Lines back down the inside, gets past Jarlath Sayer. They didn't waste too much time there, but now they've not got a trio of them pushing each other along and helping each other out. Drop back a little bit there from Teddy J. Porter, but they need to be careful here. Any more overtakes like that, and that gap could go to back over a second.
I just wonder with Lines whether that was him wanting to get into... Oh, it's out of the race. Is that Andy Stewart? Yes, it is. Oh, poor Andy Stewart out of this race. Great to have both her and her brother Johnston in this final, but Andy Stewart goes no further than lap number 11. You can see the battle scars of this race on Finley Lines' Kart. Don't be confused, he's not a reigning champion in this category with a number 1 place. It's just its number 8 has been obscured by tyre marks. There's yellow flags, waved yellow flags up at Christmas Corner. That's going to be for the recovery of Andy Stewart's number 39 Kart. 2.25 minutes to go here. Lines down the inside for 2nd place and gets it. Well, clearly for him there was not enough progress being made. The rate of progress was not high for Porter closing in on Green, and Finley Lines has taken it into his hands now to see if he can close down the championship leader.
Yeah, indeed. Less than 2 minutes to go. This is certainly heating up here now as they go through that final chicane. Big hit of the curbs again. It almost looks comical when they take to the air after hitting that curb. Absolutely superb. Back over the start-finish line they go. Green again with that fastest lap of the race. Kobe's got up into the top 10. Still yellow flags there up through Christmas Corner, so no overtaking permitted here. But everything at the moment is calm.
Despite making overtakes, that was Finley Lines' personal best so far in this race. That indicates to me, Anthony, that there's a bit more pace in that Synergy Factory number 81 at this stage. Sophie Campbell has had a 5-second penalty, so the number 90 Fusion Motorsport driver will lose positions as, or most likely lose positions as a result of that. Campbell currently 28th on the road. What is the gap now? It's another bit of time out. In fact, it's definitely closing now. Will Green's going to be under pressure here with 3 laps to go.
Well, tension starting to build here. Green is leading, heart rate rising, and a check over the shoulder. Fine through here, still yellow flags through Christmas Corner. No overtaking permitted. They go back to green flag racing. Overtaking now allowed, and Lines has closed back in here. Green needs to be careful. He cannot let the opportunity arise here, and he goes defensive. He goes defensive through Osiers. He comes out there. He's got limited speed, and now Lines will attack into the boot section, but cannot get alongside just yet.
2 laps to go. Oh, bit of a slide there for Will Green through the final chicane, but he's caught it up. But he's now got the full attentions of Finley Lines. Teddy Porter, Jarlath Sayer, Max Mason and Blair Smith, they're all a part of this battle for the win and for the podium places. Green goes defensive into Christmas Corner. Nothing Lines can do on that occasion. Porter still being patient there in 3rd. Sayer wanting to get another Fusion Motorsport podium. Sayer down the inside for 3rd place on Porter. That's going to be close. No. Porter's out on the grass. He's going to lose out there. Drops down to 6th place. Go Mason and Smith.
Well, now with the timer on 0, the last lap board will be out now. It's Green still from Lines. It is no longer Porter there. He's out of this race. It is Sayer who's there in 3rd place. Max Mason is there in P4. Blair Smith. Porter, now like you said, is in P6. Last lap board comes out now. It's Green and Lines to the end.
The run up the hill is going to be absolutely critical here for both Will Green and Finley Lines. Will Green's going to white line it all the way. He's going to force Finley Lines the long way round. Is there a switch back there? Is there an overlap? No. That's the first big defensive move that Will Green's needed. Down into Ashby once again. There's a great battle going on for 3rd place. Jarlath Sayer is holding on to it for now. Lines is trying to go left, right, over the top perhaps of Will Green if he could, but Will Green still got the lead. Can he add round 4 to round 2 in his tally of wins in Miami Water Swift for this year's Virtuals British Kart Championships? Into the final couple of corners. Is Will Green going to hold on through the penultimate corner, through Pit Bend, to the line? It's going to be close on the line. It is Green by 700ths of a second from Finley Lines. Sayer completes the podium. Blair Smith and Max Mason in the top 5. I thought Will Green had cost himself the win there, Anthony. He took the longer diagonal line to the finish, but just holds on for his 2nd win of the year.
Sometimes, just sometimes, Andrew, it's not worth going for that pose for the camera over the finish line. But how close could you be? Will Green, though, he takes it, he holds on to it, like you say, 0.07 seconds across the line ahead of Finley Lines. Jarlath Sayer rounds out the podium ahead of Blair Smith, Max Mason, Teddy J. Porter. Clark finishing in 7th ahead of Harry Williams. Austin Gibson from Harley Mustard top 10. But again, the race isn't over yet, Andrew.
The race isn't over, of course. The drivers will head into Parc Fermé. They've got to go through all of the technical checks with the scrutineers. There is Finley Lines, who elevates himself to 4th place in the championship. I tell you what as well for Will Green, well, he entered the weekend 5 points behind Jarlath Sayer in the championship. He leaves Wilton Mill with a 15-point lead. Yes, he didn't take the win yesterday. I think if you look at the weekend as a whole, that is a mega weekend for Will Green. And what a way to finish it with a final victory. He becomes the first driver of the season in Miami Water Swift to win a final from the front row of the grid. So maybe a little bit of normality restored there in what we'd expect in those finals. But Will Green, in a strange way, you know, when he won at PFI from 16th on the grid, I think that win was easier than the one that we've just seen there across the course of the last 15 minutes.
Define easy.
Well, there's nothing easy.
What was easy about that?
There
was nothing easy about that.
I say, that one I think was harder for him than the one he had at PF. But there we go. Yeah. Will Green just position the kart into P1.
Oh, he just hit his nose cone there on the rear back. There you go. Nose cone. There you go. No, the joke is after the race.
Okay.
It's after the race.
Well, for Will Green, that is another victory to add to the illustrious list of victories that Will Green has had in this formula, whether it be in the UK or in Europe. Let's head down to hear his thoughts with Nicole Sutherland.
Will Green, there is your round 4 Water Swift winner. We'll catch up with Will as he stands in front of the #1 board. Will, fantastic race there for you. What do you think?
It was a good race. I didn't have a great start, but I was able to work my way back through the field, and I was able to take it on the end of the last lap.
And in this championship so far, we've seen a number of different winners. You've taken some final wins. Finn's taken one, Mason Brooks. What are you thinking for the rest of the championship? Do you reckon it's going to be the same story?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight championship, but hopefully I can just keep doing some consistent results and keep winning some races.
Have you got anybody to thank then for this weekend?
I'd like to thank Aventus, Power, Kart Republic and my mechanic James and my family and just Jamie Green Racing in general for everything they've done for me.
Congratulations then, Will. What a fantastic race by our Water Swift drivers. I think we should see some highlights of that one.
Absolutely, and there were many of them across the course of 12 minutes plus 1 lap. Taking it back to the start, it was a good one for Finley Lyons. This was a near moment for Will Green. There, you see that little close moment with, I think it was Harry Williams in the number 44. But they all got through the first couple of laps. Will Green would start the fight back, first of all past his teammate Max Mason. That would be for 4th place. There is how he would lose Jensen Ackerman, unfortunately, from the race. Ackerman would recover to 27th position. Down towards Ashby, always a lot of overtakes in this part of the circuit. Green went on the attack, getting by his championship rival, Jarlath Sayer there. That was for 2nd place. Teddy Porter would follow through into 3rd, and then Green would set about Finley Lyons, the number 81, leading through the first half of the race. And again, Ashby corner, Will Green confident on the brakes, confident on the front end as well, that when you go for that inside line, a little bit less grip, and he had enough of that grip to turn into the corner. Lyons had a little bit of trouble. You can see the effects on the side of the car there. The number 8 of his 81 obstructed after a moment later on in the race, but he would fight back through to take P2. Jarlath Sayer would complete the podium. And another great race there, Anthony, from Miami Water Swift.
Absolutely superb. You can't take anything away from those drivers in that one. Always an exciting, exciting race.
Into the Miami Water Swift category then. Once again, top 3 receiving trophies and the winning mechanic their medal as well. Very, very close race. This top 3 covered by less than a second. Please welcome first onto the podium your driver in 3rd place for Oliver Rowland Motorsport, driver number 15 from Scotland, Blair Smith. In 2nd place in the final today, capping off a great weekend. Please welcome for Synergy Factory Team, driver number 81, Finley Lyons. And your winner for the second time this season, taking round 4 of the Water Swift category this year in the Wera Tools British Kart Championships. Please welcome, for Jamie Green Racing, driver number 2, Will Green. And of course, your winning mechanic for the number 2 today. Please welcome James Saunders. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, your top 3 in Water Swift.